when he does that, Galileo, Galileo, Galileo. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We're back in the studio with a good cup of coffee for one more vocal analysis. And I'm really excited for this one. We're going to listen to Benson Boone singing Bohemian Rhapsody with none other than Brian May. So I'm really excited. I haven't seen these before. Now, I must say that even though I'm not extremely familiar with Benson Boone's music, I have heard a few because some students of mine do sing his songs. I know that he's an incredible singer, and I'm excited to listen to this version. So, yeah, if you're new here, my name is Caio. I'm a singer-songwriter, and I'm a voice teacher, vocal coach. My work is based on laryngeal physiology, laryngeal biomechanics, and we'll be talking a bit about that as we listen to this. All right, so let's go.
Is this the real
Okay, I was already curious about that. I haven't seen anything from this video because this song is full of different voices, choirs. So I was wondering how they would do that, but they have a full choir. That's fantastic. Yeah, it looks quite theatrical. Is that a word? I think that's the word I'm looking for. Theatrical. Yeah, no, that's pretty nice. Okay, let's go.
just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality.
That intro.
Mama, just kill the man. I put a gun against his head. I pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Mama, life had just begun, and now I've gotta throw it all away. Mama!
So a few things. If we pay attention, he's using a lot of what we call Gregorian voice.
Mama!
This sound here, mama. You know who else would use that sound, that technique? Freddie. Freddie will use a lot of Gregorian voices as well for this beginning. Mama, just kill the man. This kind of voice is not as hard as what we would call active schemes. He's not doing mama. No, we have that soft tone, but it's still projected. He's projecting his voice forward. He wants to be heard. Mama, just kill the man. That's really characteristic of this song, and that's also the way that Freddie would sing. So up to this point, yeah, I really like it.
Just kill the man.
We have some breathies. Kill the man. And pay attention to the size at the end.
I put a gun against his head.
Head. We call that, whenever we are keeping that breathy tone, you know what? We call that a breathy voice. It's a technique as well. And he's not using that a lot. He's not singing the whole thing like, mama, just kill the man. Even though he could, he opted for the Gregorian voice, that soft tone with more closure of the vocal folds for most of it. And then at the end, he lets go and opens that breathiness. That's really good.
I pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Mama, life had just begun.
Just begun. Yeah, so these here we call inside. By the way, guys, all of these names, Gregorian voice and breathy voice, in this one we say that this is a crystal voice. A crystal voice is firm, really small, just begun. You don't have a lot of volume. In fact, you're holding back. Your vocal folds are passive. You don't have a lot of blood flow, muscle engagement. The vocal folds are more relaxed, but you have firmness. That means that the muscles around the vocal folds, they are embracing the vocal folds with a bit more, they're more engaged, embracing the vocal folds. And this is what we call a crystal voice. And as I was telling, all of these names, they were made inside vocal anthropophysiology, which is the theoretical methodological framework framework that I use in my teaching. So all of these names, they come from vocal anthrophysiology, and this is what we call crystal voice. Just begun. And we use it mostly when we are singing high, because as I told you guys, it doesn't have a lot of volume, and it's a bit more practical when you are singing high because we gain some volume and the vocal folds are a bit more stretched. But if I were to do the same thing a bit lower, just begun, just begun. I mean, I can do it, but it's not as interesting to the point of view of like a musical strategy. Sometimes here and there it does happen. I do use it sometimes, singing a bit lower, but it is more practical when you're singing a bit higher.
And now I've gotta throw it all away. Mama, ooh, didn't mean to make you cry. If I'm not back again this time tomorrow, carry on, carry on. Mama, didn't mean to make you cry. If I'm not back again this time tomorrow, carry on, as if nothing really mattered.
That's fantastic. So when he's doing that, mama, his vocal folds were active. And when we carry the vocal folds active to those higher notes, and here we are speaking above the E4, and he was singing the G, mama, I think he was singing the G. That's what we call a warn voice. It's the voice, the technique that you would use to warn someone about something, as if you were calling someone on the other side of the street. Oh, mama! And then we have that, and we also have some vibrato as well.
Carry on, and this time tomorrow.
This time tomorrow, we have some vibrato. Up, up, up. Really good. And then, of course, he's switching to that Gregorian voice. Remember the mama when he goes to carry on, carry on. That same idea, the same soft tone, but he wants to be heard. He's projecting forward.
Carry on, as if nothing really mattered.
Come on, a flip. Okay, that's fantastic. This is something I would like to learn. Oh man, oh. If I could do that during my performances, nobody would stop me.
It's too late. My time has come.
The only reason I can't do a flip like that is because I don't have those pants. That's the reason.
Then shivers down my spine. The body's aching all the time.
Okay, he's singing mostly active here. When we are singing a bit lower, like speaking range, and with active vocal folds, we call that a crooner voice. Na 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 na. So that's mostly active.
Has come. Send shivers down my spine. The body's aching.
But we have a small distortion in here.
Aching all.
Aching on, but it's aching on. That's really close to what we call a phaser voice. A phaser voice is this kind of distortion here. The phaser voice is a kind of vocal distortion where we have a bit of crackling. We have a crackling, but we also have some hiss, some hair, some escape of air. And then that's exactly what happens. Aching on. And yeah, that's the kind of technique that singers like Bryan Adams would use a lot. I got my first real 6-string. That's the idea. And that's what he's using here, but only for a small, pretty much a vowel. Aching on, but it's aching on. And then he switched to something else.
All the time.
By the way, sometimes, this is important to point out, sometimes we are hearing to singers and they do something and that might not be intentional, but it's not because it wasn't intentional in a way that, oh, that just happened by accident. He wasn't exactly trying to do that, that we shouldn't work on that technique ourselves. I mean, if you want to improve your singing, start paying attention to things that are happening in the songs that you like, and even when they are not intentional, if you like them, try to learn them, try to apply them. So if I were to sing the song and I really like this version, I would try to do that, even though it might, well, maybe it was intentional, maybe it wasn't. We'll never know unless we talk to him and we ask him. But that's not the point. I really like it. So if I were to sing it, I would use that. I like it. And but of course I'm biased here. I like vocal distortions in general. Let's go.
Goodbye, everybody. I've got to go. I've got to leave you all behind and face the truth.
More space on the vocal track. Face! He's opening the vocal track, raising the soft palate, lowering the larynx a bit, and that's really interesting because some people say still to this date, still today, some people say that you need to drop your larynx when you sing, and that's not a thing. You can, if you sing contemporary music, that's a choice. You can lower your larynx or not. In fact, you can raise your larynx depending on the sound that you want. And he's lowering the larynx here and raising the soft palate for this part, but he wasn't before. And that variation, dynamics, that's the key in contemporary music. We want variation. We don't want a stuck larynx position. We want to be changing things so that we can have different sounds, and that's exactly what we hear here.
Silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, will you do the fandango?
Oh no, come on! It's in the high one. When he does that, that's a Gregorian voice as well, but that's super high. Yeah, that's the E5. And the fact that he has that coordination, yeah, I wasn't expecting him to do that high part there. Again, the Gregorian voice, so passive vocal folds, but to be able to coordinate so that he has that really soft and controlled tone. His volume is also really controlled. If you pay attention, he's using in-ears, and his microphone is never too far from his mouth. So he's keeping the volume controlled and singing extremely high notes. It's not a surprise to me that he's singing high notes because I've worked a couple of his songs with students before, so I know that he sings really high, but I wasn't expecting that part of the song. And that way, that's great.
I'm just a poor boy nobody loves.
And then a crooner again, active vocal folds low. I'm just a poor boy. Great.
He's just a poor boy from a poor family, sparing his life from this monstrosity.
Easy come, easy go, will you let me go?
It's a G. Even higher. Again, passive vocal folds. And also something really important. Look at the way that he's opening his mouth. That's something I tell my students pretty much every day. Open your mouth. And when I say open your mouth, the space between the teeth. That's the main thing. Because sometimes a student will do this. And especially if they're singing a vowel that's a bit closer, like E. I'm opening. What do you mean I'm opening my No, you're opening your lips. When I say open your mouth, it means bite. Imagine that you're going to bite something. Then open the space between your teeth. That's what we wanted. Look at this. Yeah. He's singing a high G. La Mega! And look the distance. The microphone is super, super close. Great.
Let me go.
Mamma mia, mamma mia. Mamma.
Mama. Yeah, it's not that low as it seems because it's just saying 2 octaves higher, but still the difference in tone is fantastic. He's brutal. He's lowering the larynx, raising the palate space. Mama
Mia, mamma mia.
Now the hard rock part. That's so cool.
So you think you can stop me and spit in my eye? So you think you can love me and leave me to die? Oh, baby.
So here is a good example of singing with a bit higher larynx position, not raising the soft palate that much. So we have a brighter sound. Oh baby, oh baby. We have a brighter sound, a bit more nasality, which is what makes this bright tone. Oh baby. He's not doing oh baby, and that's what makes this part in particular sound so rock and roll, so hard rock, so right in your face.
Can't do this to me, baby.
Baby!
Just gotta get out.
Oh, passive. Just gotta get out. Just breathy. Just gotta get out.
Just gotta get right out of here.
Oh, soft palate. Here. Just gotta get out of here. Dynamics, colors, vocal schemes. That's what we like in contemporary singing. To be changing things so that we always sound different. One singer, multiple voices. I just imagine the sensation of sharing the stage with Brian May. Like, I imagine how Benson Boone should be feeling at this moment. It must be like, oh man. And they look so good, like performing together. That's both of them are legends. Like when it comes to music, when it comes to stage performance, which is really important in this kind of music. I would say I'm biased again because I really value a stage performance, but in rock, that's key. And the way that they move on stage, the way that they are showing how they are comfortable together and on stage is just fabulous. It's so nice to see. They're having fun.
Nothing really matters. Anyone can see. Nothing really matters. Nothing really matters.
Gregorian, right? Nothing really matters. Soft, projected. Yeah, sweet.
To me.
He grows and adds some vibrato. To me.
Any way the wind blows.
think that one was a bit more active. I felt a bit more muscle mass there. And even some distortion, pretty nice. And I also know that he sings a distortion in his songs as well, based on what I heard. Again, I haven't heard that much of his original music. Maybe a couple of them, maybe 3 of them, not that much. But fantastic singer, and yeah, so much dynamic, so much different colors, different adjustments, different sounds. That's just fantastic to hear and to watch as well, because what a performance. And they both look like they were having a lot of fun together, and yeah.
Please give it up for Queen guitarist Brian May.
Okay, Brian May's a legend. And this is a really challenging song to sing live because so many different adjustments, and he just did a fantastic job there. So yeah, great singer, great control. He's controlling his volume quite well. So in-ears, microphone close, dynamics, different sounds, distortions, clean sounds with active vocal folds, with passive vocal folds, vibrato, a bit of distortion. I think I mentioned distortion. Now, if you want to improve your own singing and learn all of these techniques, I recommend you check out my online course, Building Your Voice, where we cover pretty much all of these techniques here. We talk about passive schemes, the Gregorian, the breathy, the weak, the crystal voice. We talk about active vocal schemes, the crooner, the warn, the clamp, about ornaments, yodels, runs, vibratos, about distortions, like the phaser, like the creaky, like the snarl, screams. We talk about all that, basic music theory for singers, and a bunch of vocal exercises, how to properly warm up your voice, how to create exercises, and a whole vocal exercise library there with exercises for all of these vocal schemes. Check it out, link in the description. And yeah, if you like this kind of content, subscribe to the channel, click on the like so that you help me with the algorithm, and leave your comment below. Tell me what you like the most about his singing and which of the techniques you use in your own singing. Also, I would like to hear from you what other singers and performances you would like me to analyze next. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Let's build your voice. And remember, if your concepts cannot be seen in the real world, they must change and not the world.